Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to be solving quadratics with factoring. Now, my first step whenever I solve a quadratic equation is to set y equal to 0. This is because I'm trying to find my x-intercepts. Remember, our x-intercepts are the same as our solutions. So we have 6x squared plus 34x equals negative 12 plus 0. Now I just wrote that plus 0 because to tell myself I'm setting y equal to 0, but I can just get rid of it right off the bat. It's not really going to affect our problem. My next step is to get everything on one side of the equation. I have to set my entire equation equal to 0 so I can actually begin factoring. So I'm going to do plus 12 on this side, and again plus 12 plus 12, that's an ugly 12, on this side to get negative 6x squared plus 34x plus 12 equals 0. Now I can begin factoring. I'm going to look at my trinomial here, and we want to write this trinomial in standard form with x squared, then our x term, and then just our c term. I'm going to look for a negative in the front. Well, I do have a negative in the front, so I have to factor out a negative. And my GCF is going to be 2. Each of these are divisible by 2. So I'm going to factor out a negative 2. I'm left with 3x squared. And remember, when I factor out the negative, change the signs of everything on the inside. So I have 3x squared minus 34x divided by 2 is 17. So 17x, and 12 divided by negative 2 is negative 6 equals 0. Okay, well, since I have a number greater than 1, I have 3 in front of x squared, I have to use divide and slide. So I'm going to slide my 3 over and rewrite my problem like this. Negative 2x squared minus 17x minus 3 times 6 is 18, so minus 18 equals 0. I took my 3, multiplied it with 6, and got my negative 18. Okay, now this is something I know how to factor since we have nothing in front of x squared, so now we can get started. Negative 2, well, I need two numbers that multiply to get negative 18 and add to get negative 17. Well, I'm going to write out my two parentheses because I know my answer will have two parentheses with x in the front. Two numbers that multiply to get negative 18 and add to negative 17. Well, how about negative 18 plus 1? Negative 18 times positive 1 is negative 18. Negative 18 plus 1 is negative 17. I'm not done quite yet because now I have to divide these numbers by 3. The reason I'm dividing by 3 is because I have to divide and slide. The number I slide with is 3, so that is the number I have to divide with. So I get negative 2. Well, I have x minus 18 over 3. 18 over 3 is just 6, so minus 6. 1 over 3 is irreducible, so what I have to do is bring the denominator 3 up in front and get 3x plus 1 equals 0. Okay, now my last step, since I have factored my equation properly, my next step is to take what's in each parenthesis and solve it individually. So in my first parenthesis I have x minus 6. To solve it, I'll set it equal to 0. Now I have to add 6 to both sides, and I'm going to get my solution x equals 6. Same thing over here. Take over here, and maybe we'll do that in purple. Set 3x plus 1 equal to 0. Remember, we're just taking what's in our parenthesis and solving it like its own separate equation. So I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides to get 3x equals -1. Divide by 3 on both sides, and I get x equals -1 over 3. These are my two solutions, and I am done.